That's a good question. That's a good question.
Yes, okay.
She's like,
Something crossed my mind. But yeah.
then I wanted to now pray the right prayer,
Yes.
so that I get answered. I want to try learning Korean on the platform.
Ish Korean.
Right?
Come on, Sia.
안녕하세요. The other thing I think that maybe is mean that women don't do is to celebrate one another.
Oh, never below you.
Yeah.
Never above you.
Yeah.
Always beside you.
Always be, yes.
Thank you for watching our video. This show is sponsored by DreamStream. DreamStream is a unique platform where creators can monetize their video content. All creators rely on support from people like you. Join us on the DreamStream platform to support your favorite creator and view the episode without any adverts. Follow the link in the description for a how-to guide. DreamStream, a place where you can create yourself.
Sanbanani Tumelana Psheni. Hello. Hey, beautiful people. Nakalibitso ke Ditshwanelo Mosia, better known as Miss D. And we are back yet again because I did say that we're going to come back and come back and come back and come back. And I'm not alone. Obviously, I don't move alone. My guests today, we go way back, like way, way, way back, like probably 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we worked together at Massive Metro. She is an amazing editor. Photographer. Yeah, she took a lot of nice pictures of me. So, editor, photographer, graphic designer, and a content creator. She normally does the DIY things and obviously other things that probably she will tell us right here, right now. And yeah,
Yes.
Kira, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's
I'm
been
so
3 years since I
excited.
saw you.
It's been long.
Okay, we
It's-
said 2 years.
Okay, yes.
We said 2 years because
Yes.
like COVID days, we can't count that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
How have you been, my babe?
I've been so good. I've
Yeah.
been so good by God's grace. I've been wow.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm actually excited to just be here to see you.
I'm excited to have you. So if ever on your bio, on your Yam bio, I didn't mention everything that you're currently doing. Is there something that I missed? Is there another thing that you're currently doing now?
Not even. I think you actually mentioned everything because I
Yeah.
do graphic design. Actually, I also do online teaching.
Oh,
right.
How
Yes.
can I know that? How can I forget that? Yes.
Yes. So there's
English,
that.
to be precise.
Yes,
In,
yes.
in South Korea or China?
Well, all over the world, like it's
Oh, is
different
it?
people. So it's different people that come from all over the world that want to learn English, and then yeah. So
Okay,
yeah.
so I need to explain because I like having to explain why this show and why the name.
Okay.
So the name is She Is the Scope.
Ah.
And the reason why I thought of this niche market, because it's like a niche market in terms of I'm just focusing on women and not everybody else. It's because like I find it that as women, we are not our sister's keeper. Instead of me looking at you like, oh my God, Kira is really doing well. I want to learn from Kira. I will look at Kira and be like, who does she think she is? You know, she thinks she's better, or it will be envy, jealousy, or just like looking at you as if you are competition, right? So I wanted to start this as a form of how, as women, we can come together instead of being opposite, but come together to be like, okay, I actually want to interact with Kira. I want to like get to know how Kira got to where Kira got. Actually, my sister wants to get into teaching and I want to learn or ask Kira how she did it. You know, so the mandate of it is just for us to make a better generation of women and women that stand together more than the opposite side. Yeah. So because you touched on teaching, I will want you to actually tell us how you got into that, because I know a lot of people right now are looking at side hustles and they want to know how they can do this teaching. I myself have thought of it.
Yeah.
I have thought of it, but I was
Yes.
like, yeah. Maybe I'm getting too much things on my table. But yeah, how did that come about? What do people need to do or know before they actually go into it?
Okay. So actually getting into teaching online, there are various platforms that you can, try out. There's, I don't know if I can mention names. Can I?
No, you,
Okay.
plug us.
Okay. All right. So there's Preply, which is the platform that I work on,
Yeah.
and iTalki, which is a platform that I used to work on. However, Preply worked way better for me.
Yeah.
So basically what you need to do is to have, you don't necessarily need to have like a teaching certificate, but it's more advisable, because then, I don't know, it makes you look more reputable, I guess,
I get it.
and then you can just apply, you can have like a South African nationality or something like that, like your identity documents and stuff, and then just have, maybe I would say, have experience of teaching, people. So I got into this because I think I told you at some point that, remember, I wanted to go to Japan and thingy and teach that side. But then I got rejected. So I was like, okay, what can I do now? And I needed to just generate income as well, right? So by God's grace, these doors opened for me. And then I was able to, just continue here. So I've been teaching on this platform for, I think, 2 years now. It's going on 2 years. So yeah, that's basically it. You just need to, all they need is for you to have a good camera quality, good, strong internet, right? And then and then that's just
You're good to go.
literally, and then you're good to go.
So
you
I
know?
hear hore tlamehile o etse bo di-police clearance and stuff like that.
yes.
How long does a police clearance actually like take?
It depends. Sometimes it could take like a month. Sometimes it could take more. So when I did it, when I really wanted to go to Japan, like I needed to do it months before I actually moved, so that I leave some room, whether it takes, because you never know, it's going to take long or something, To this day, I still haven't fetched it because because
I'm guilty as charged.
because I think the communication, that's the other thing, like the communication, the SMSs that you get. So make sure that when you actually do the police clearance and everything, you are working on the same number, so you get like proper communication
When they say
from
it's
the
here,
station,
you
when
are
they
able
say
to
it's
go back
here
and get it.
stuff like that, and also in terms of applying and things like that, documentation. So yeah.
Yeah, like it's very interesting. With kids that you teach, is it like age-wise? Do you kids like little kids, adult, old people?
So I taught all, right? But now it's predominantly adults. I prefer adults.
Why? But
Because
also
kids-
stress.
Oh no. Kids, they have like literally like the shortest attention span. And the thing is, most of the kids that I taught were actually homeschooled, so now they have siblings and it's busy, and the other sibling is playing around. This one has to read and they're distracted, so there was a whole lot that I was dealing
needed
with
to be patient.
that I needed to be patient. I think that's what I'm grateful for, that it taught me patience, and I really had a lot of fun teaching these kids. But I just felt like my conversations flowed more with adults. Adults know what they want, in as much as you're teaching people from different parts of the world. People, they all have their own personalities, but yeah, I felt like it just flows with adults, and I'm understanding them better, and there's just mutual understanding. So that's what I liked.
Now, like on that platform, is it only English, not you teaching? Like us as South Africans, can we also find some kind of maybe Chinese or whatever language that side that we can learn?
Oh yes, definitely. I think there's Brazilian, because I want to try learning Korean on the platform.
Ish Korean.
Right?
Come on,
I really want to try learning Korean on the platform, and Portuguese. There's Portuguese, there's Spanish. There's a guy that I actually taught Spanish on the platform.
Yes.
There's maths, there's, I think,
So there's
accounting.
absolutely everything.
There's absolutely everything, so yeah, you can just go
because
there.
maybe my CEO of a husband from Seoul in Korea, I just need to learn something to get by, but that's very exciting. And I think when you told me that you're teaching, and every time I will call you, be like, hey, after my lesson, I'm like, ish, I keep forgetting. With the time zones also, how do you handle that?
It's such a stress. So, because recently, there's this thing called time saving, right? Where they take their clock backward. Like, so they give themselves like an extra hour.
Is it?
Yeah. So,
do we do that?
No, we don't do
Why?
that.
Cyril? For the sleep before we wake up to go to work, we just need one extra hour.
Yeah.
So they do that?
Yes, because of the weather. So for instance, in Poland, right? it gets dark so in winter it gets dark about 3, like 3 p.m.
Yeah.
It's already getting dark, like it's
We
going
must switch
towards
the
5.
lights on.
You must switch lights on
And be in the house.
Exactly. The sun actually rises at around 7 o'clock apparently. So because during winter the days are shorter, like the amount of sun, they don't
Yes.
have enough amounts of
Yeah.
sun, so they give themselves an extra hour. So that kind of also I need to
Like
work
I'm
around that. It's confusing.
I need to know how they do that.
It's confusing.
That's
So
amazing. And I also have seen that. I watch a lot of K-dramas, and
Okay,
I blame
yeah.
you for that because you hooked me on these things that I cannot now
Yeah.
get out of. So I always see that they actually have a dedicated weather forecasting channel.
Okay.
Where they actually look at how the weather is going to be and they predict if it's going to snow tomorrow, rain tomorrow, whatever the case may be. So people can be aware and probably go to work with umbrellas, which again, Cyril, we need that kind of thing because the weather has been shaky, flaky. Like
True.
1 minute I come out wearing like this, and then the next minute, you know what, it's snowing.
That is really true.
Do you get what I mean? And I look like a crazy person. Or didn't you see the weather?
Yes.
You know, so that is also intriguing when I think about them having that. And I also think about them having to give themselves time.
Extra hour. True.
Wow.
True. Because in summer they take it back.
Oh, is it?
Yes. So they take their hour, to the normal.
Hatong.
And then in winter
It's like we need to travel,
they-
but yes, the traveling
take
is really like informative. Like if
It
you travel and
is.
read a lot and watch a lot of documentaries and you can actually learn so much.
It is. But just imagine having to like be in the house by 3 p.m. and it's dark. I was like, oh no. Like, it's nice, but oh my goodness. Like, my goodness.
It's super crazy. You are cooking at 3 p.m. When will dinner be? Because then it means that at 6, you guys must be eating. At 7, you're sleeping. at this point in time.
Exactly. And even their moods, like, because like one of my students, she was like, oh, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling down, because like of the weather. It actually also like affects their mood, I mean, even with us, I think when it's winter, sometimes
get
we're a little
affected.
bit down,
Babe.
so
I get
makes
affected
sense.
every time when it's cold. And
Right?
my office where I work,
Ne?
it's Alaska.
Really?
So you can just imagine how my mood changes because I'm
True.
like, I can't think. I can't operate in coldness. And it's funny because I was born in June. Yeah.
Yeah, are you forgetting your mind?
No, like, yes, a kid.
She's
yeah.
like-
No, something crossed my mind. But yeah, and I don't know. I'm supposed to be a winter baby, but I don't like winter. I also don't like too much heat. So I'm in the middle. I feel like things should be balanced.
But it makes sense, friend. I'm born in summer, right?
Do you like
and
summer?
I love winter.
Okay.
Do you get? So I think the opposite attracts also works.
Why
in
do you
weathers.
like winter?
I love winter. Like it's so like the clothing.
Yes,
the clothing is
fashion nice.
amazing.
The fashion
clothing is
super,
amazing.
Yeah.
But also just to be cozy and stay in the house. You don't have to be outside gallivanting.
No,
Like,
but
that's
because
nice.
you are your own CEO.
Aye,
You are
friend.
not working a 9 to 5 at an office. So you having to be like, you can do things at the comfort of your own home and still get the ching ching.
You
We all aspire to be you at this point. Like honestly. Because for me,
Oh my gosh.
I was working from home for the longest time, probably 2 years. And then this year, August this year, I started going into, I got a new gig.
Yeah.
And then the gig required me to be in the office.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, the adjustment of that has been a real thing, and the fatigue has been a real thing. I don't know if it's because it's the end of the year or I'm just not used to waking up that early anymore.
Yes.
I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping that from January, things will be a bit better.
True.
So,
Need a photo studio? The DreamStream Photo Studio includes a 2.7-meter PVC backdrop in black and white and is available for only 115 rands per hour. You can also rent a Canon R6 and lights. All rentals are for studio use only. Terms and conditions apply. Contact studio at dreamstream.co.za.
Thank you, Ben, for coming out tonight. My name is Sam Augustine.
I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Because I always want to ask you something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What would you say you have learned from a fellow woman?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. From a fellow woman, man, I've been surrounded by just amazing women in my life,
Including me?
include, of course, of course, and no lie, like
Yeah.
definitely, and I think especially through my friendships, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, these past 2 years have been pretty heavy,
Yes.
but I think just seeing my friends, you included, just, fighting through it, whatever it may be, and just like holding on to the hope,
Yeah.
and just not giving up. I think because sometimes I'd be like, not necessarily to give up, but you tend to get like discouraged,
Yes.
by your own journey. You try this, it's not working, but then you think about, oh my gosh, but D,
Yeah.
look at how she's thinking,
Yeah.
and just looking at how other people lead their lives
Yes.
is so very, very inspirational to me. And I think also my own mother, like my aunts, they are very powerful,
Yeah.
women, and the things that they go through because they are also teachers,
Yes.
and just like the stories that I hear from them, like, and what they go through,
Yeah.
Bodikolong and things like that, and then how they stand up. One thing that my mom said just recently, she was like, even if I'm the only one that is not agreeing with what the masses are
Yes.
saying, it's okay.
Mm.
I'm going to stand for the truth,
Yes.
and that's what I think I've been battling with lately, because sometimes I feel like I'm so scared to just speak my truth, because I don't want to make things, I'm not conflict type of person, you
Yes.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I get you.
so I would sit on something and think about it and do the conversation,
Yeah.
even make that person speak in my own head, So just the thing of speaking your truth, but you can always speak your truth with grace,
Yes.
and it's okay to disagree.
Yes.
It's okay to disagree and not be on the same page, but
Yeah.
you still say whatever you're saying with grace and
Yeah.
with love,
Yeah.
So I think that's what I've taken to just speak your truth and to stand on it and to live by your convictions.
Yeah.
It's very, very important.
It's very I like that. I really do, because you know what, ne? I've noticed that or realized rather in my now years that I thought life was just marshmallows. Like honestly, I thought it was soft, it was sweet, it was nice. And I think in high school, our teachers will be like, "You must study now and whatever. After this, you will live the best life you want to live." And then now we are in adulthood, and this hood is like showing us flames, and we are like, "Ish, I wish I knew 1, 2, 3 when I
Yes.
was young, right?" And a lot of times, you and I have had conversations about careers. And I think we've struggled a lot in balancing what we think God wants us to do, or our purpose and our destiny, and what we want to do. And having to think, okay, this thing that I want to do, does it also match what God wants for me? And sometimes
Exactly.
once you don't get an opportunity that you really want, you are thinking, should I just give up on this opportunity, or does it mean it's just not the right time and I should try again next year, or I should try again next week? So with you, just take us through how those kind of conflicts in mind and spirituality have been for you, and where you are now.
So that's a good question. That's a good question. And it's also a very humbling experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll humble you to, like sometimes you dream
Yeah.
and you've got goals.
Yeah.
And, like at some point, I think I told you as well that I wanted to go to Vega,
Yes.
Yes. To do branding and everything. And I believed that this is what God has for me.
Yes.
I went, and it was that time when I still worked at Massive.
Yes.
And I applied and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden there were no finances for it. And I was like, oh God. I was like, okay, what now? And I
Yes.
think it really did affect the way that I prayed, because then I wanted to now pray the right prayer,
Yes.
so that I get answered. But
Yeah.
I learned that at the end of the day, to just come to God and just, like whether I get it or not, at the end of the day, is for me to want His will
Yes.
to prevail than my own. And I think that's how I've been approaching everything now. I just say, God, in accordance to your will, this is what I'd love. This is what I believe you're leading me towards.
Yeah.
And then He will give you, like it says in like Proverbs, right, 16, that even in Proverbs 3, that commit everything that you do to the Lord, and He will establish your thoughts towards it. And He established our thoughts through His word and the like, right? So I just try my best to just always stick, like to just pray and to be in prayer and to just lead by what I believe and to just work at it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, yes, it becomes a bummer when things don't work out the way that you initially hoped for it to work. But then at the end of the day, you know that if it's not this way, because every time I believe the prayer is like left or right. It's asking, am I supposed to go left or right? Every time left or right. And if it's right, okay, you go right.
Yeah.
And to also believe that if you're going right, you are equipped to be there.
Yes.
You're
ready.
You are ready to be there, and to be also humble enough to learn when you're there, to be a student, like if you approach, that's what I'm learning. If you approach everything with the heart of wanting to learn and to be
very
taught, you'll go far,
Yeah.
and to not get there and be like, oh, I know everything and stuff like that, because then, pride comes
not
before a
gonna-
fall, so you just want to approach everything with that. And I think that's just where I am. I'm in a place where I want to learn. I want to challenge myself, even with the DIY stuff you're speaking about. I want to challenge myself and just grow creatively, especially, So, yes.
So you touched on the right prayer, which I know even myself I struggle to know how to pray. And sometimes I think I'm too demanding. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but I know probably a lot of people, not necessarily women alone, but a lot of people struggle to pray or to know how to pray, And I think sometimes when you are hard down, it's very difficult for you to pray. If you've tried everything, if in the last 10 years you're like, Ish, I've been trying this and this and this, everything has failed. I don't think God is hearing me. Yeah. So with you, I know it has also happened, not that you struggle to pray all the time, but it has happened that you would feel like, I don't think my prayers are being heard. There are jokes on TikTok where people will be like, but God, how are you answering other kids when me here, I've been like praying, and you're not answering me. And I think I listened to something and then I think it was a church actually. And then Pastor Andre was saying that we need to learn or get educated on the sufferings that we will go through. That God has said that we may go through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and understand why we need to go through that in order for us not to feel like God doesn't love us in a way, right? So now the question in this long conversation that I just had is how do you keep on praying even when you are feeling like it's not happening?
It's not. That's a very good question, because I can definitely relate to that, right? That sometimes you don't have even the strength to pray, right? But I think I touched on it now with my previous answer as well. Is for me personally, I've just learned to trust the character of God, and I think that's my thing, right? To just trust the character of God and to trust that, like it says in the word, that His plans are to prosper us, and not to harm us.
Yes.
To just trust that, and to go at it with, I want your will more than my own.
Oh.
You see, if for me, like I think if we can just wrap our mind around that,
Your
to
will, not my
actually
own, it's
want
difficult.
God's, it is, right? Like, but to want His will to prevail, to want what He wants for us, right? And God wants the best for us, You find that sometimes there are things that we want, but it's just not time, because God is about timing, and that there's desires in our hearts that we want, right? But then our character is maybe not prepared for that, right? So there are times where maybe He just wants to prune us and He wants to prepare us for that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because, for instance, there are times when I've prayed that, oh Lord, I really want to move. and I can feel in my heart that I really want to go.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm tired being where I am. Sometimes I feel stagnant, I feel stuck.
Yeah.
But I can feel in my spirit that God is saying, not now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I wanted right now,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, not now, not now. And I remember I was praying once, and you know, and I got the scripture. Oh my gosh, now I'm losing my train of thought. Like, like I got the scripture that when the time, oh yes, when the time is right, it's in Isaiah. I, the Lord, will make it happen.
Yes.
And in that, it's not God saying no, but it's a thing of timing.
Of timing. So we
That
need to
not
understand
now,
timing.
but at a particular time, He will do it. And I want to get to spaces when I'm ready. You know, I'm financially ready. You know, and we know with God, sometimes you don't have to be super, super ready because He's the one that will provide.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In His own ways, you know. So just with prayer, when people are feeling like, if people should be in a space where they feel like they're not, you know, they are downcast or something like that, like I would just say, in times like that, sometimes I just choose to praise and to worship because of who He is,
Of who He
you
is,
know, and then automatically it just, it changes my disposition, I
Let me
guess.
tell you something.
You know?
It could be funny or not, but I sometimes think when I'm alone that, God, is it that you don't want to give me money to be rich because you think I'm gonna be an evil person? I promise I'm not gonna be evil. You know, I'm gonna do right. Like I'm gonna tithe. I'm gonna like give. I'm gonna like be there. I'm gonna like use my pocket to bless others.
True.
Because sometimes I think your funny humor with God will get to that point of feeling like, but why? Why are
You
you not
know?
doing this? Don't you
Yes.
think, oh, I'm just gonna be a person that forgets
True.
you and forgets everything, you know?
True.
But so now I wanna move into something. Have you, like, it's something totally different, but it just crossed my mind, and you know I speak my mind.
Yeah.
What is the meanest thing that a woman has ever done to you that you felt like, wow, what? Whether it's at work or in high school or even in family.
Yeah. The meanest thing. Oh. I think maybe the thing that just crosses my mind now is I was in primary school, I was voted out of a group. You know, like when we are all
Clicks.
when we were all like cliques and stuff. I was voted out of a group. So
Why? What
like,
did you do?
I did nothing. I don't remember doing anything.
Because that's the first question that
you
somebody
know?
will ask you.
Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
You know, I don't remember anything. I get it's that thing of people wanting to hang out with the cool people,
Yes.
right? So maybe I was not cool enough for them, you know? So,
You know, the funny thing
and
is,
again, they were young, you know? So shame. I can't
maybe
really
like
put that on
I was
them.
thinking shame on them, but
You know?
I hope they have grown now. They don't cheat people out of their
Out
friendships.
of their friendships. So,
But
so
I think
yeah.
I have a similar experience. Like I understood now that we do have friend enemies. Like I understood. Like back then, they've been there. Do you understand? We just didn't know the term or to place them to know if they are friend enemies or just enemies. We don't know. But I think for me,
Are you a musician? The Dream Stream Music Studio is now available on Sundays for only 295 rands per hour. It includes a 12-channel desk, a variety of mics and cables, electronic drum kit, and a laptop for recording. Terms and conditions apply and booking is essential. Contact studio at dreamstream.co.za for a site visit.
the meanest thing that somebody has done or a woman has done is just not giving me the best service because I'm a woman.
Oh,
Because a lot of times you find that they would treat a man differently and
Oh,
then
yes.
treat us as women way differently. They
Oh,
won't be
yes.
as nice and smiley, you
Oh,
know,
yes.
or helpful. rather.
True.
Whether be you are in traffic and those traffic cops, those female traffic cops, like one day we shall speak about this because you guys don't treat us nicely when we're women.
That's
Do you
true.
understand? You know, minor things, you don't let us go, you give us fines, which it's fine at this point in time, but
That's true.
that happens. And I think a lot of times for me to treat you badly, do you think it comes from home training, or do you think people actually just are born with that kind of character or personality?
I think, okay, just to I want to go back to the question that you
Yeah.
asked, right? The other thing I think that maybe is mean that women don't do is to celebrate one another. You know what I mean? Like sometimes
Mr. P, do we have that Like I feel like this is the time we needed to do
you know,
yeah.
like because I remember there was once when I was telling in varsity, I was telling a friend of mine of an achievement that
Yes.
I actually, I got.
Yeah.
And she looked at me dead in the eye. No emotion.
No, oh
like
my God.
literally, like no emotion. She just looked at me dead in the eye, and I could sense the tension, that okay, someone's not happy,
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that for me was just like, okay, like, aren't we supposed to be happy for one another? But then I needed to also be like, okay, maybe, she's also been applying. She has not been getting opportunities, So I think these days, that's what I try to do. Whereas you can see the truth is here, but then I'll find every
Things
other reason
do
to
not-
be like, okay, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's not
But do
this,
you
which
think
is
we need-
wrong.
Do you think we need
I
to
don't
call
know.
each other out?
I think there's a way to do it, right? There's a way to do it. And also understanding like which battle you fight. You need to choose your battles. You know what I mean? There's some things where
That's important.
you really do not need to even entertain. But the things I know with me, if it's going to sit with me, right? Then I know that, oh, okay, I need to
address it.
speak to this person about it, because then I know that I'm going to be thinking about it, and then I'm going to be assuming, and I'm going to, and I don't want that. I want to know that, okay, dude, this is what I'm sensing.
Yes.
Exactly the same thing that I did with you, right? Like, this is what I'm sensing. Am I wrong? Am I in the same place?
So that you don't get the wrong.
So that I don't get the wrong, And then when people start explaining, and I did that recently with even another friend of mine, because I'm the type of person to keep quiet, So I think it's important for us as women to call each other out, but not in a way of with a confrontational spirit, but to just address things properly. You know what I mean? And yeah, like the thing of competition as well, it's so unnecessary, because I felt that even in close friendships where I'm like, like we're not going at the same, we're not going, yes, we might be alongside each other, but dude, like what you get, right? I should be clapping for you.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
I should be celebrating because you were breaking boundaries that I'm maybe never called to break. I was never created to break, but I get to witness that through you.
Exactly.
I get to witness impossibility through you.
Let me
So
teach
I
you
need to
something.
be clapping.
Let me teach you something.
Yeah.
There's that
Yeah.
never below you.
Yeah.
So it will be never below you. No,
Okay.
you must put your cup on top.
Oh,
Never
right.
below you.
Yeah.
Never above you.
Yeah.
Always beside you.
Always be, yes.
So let's do that one.
Never below you,
never above you, always beside you.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that you are
Exactly.
saying we need to be doing. That
Exactly.
You know what?
That's powerful, actually.
Yes.
True. That's actually.
But it's so crazy that
Yeah.
you said it, because I know that by the time this airs, it would have passed, but I still want to like speak on it. Busi, the Queen of Pitori, she was on my first ever episode.
Yeah.
With Tato Siswe Slutu.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she is actually presenting an award at the Summer Awards tonight. This Saturday. Do you get what I mean?
Amazing.
And it's something so big, because you know what?
Yes.
Sometimes when
Oh, that's beautiful.
one door closes, another door opens. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And I think right now, those are like the kind of things that I would hope that everybody around her is so excited for her and feels okay. You know what? You worked so hard and you deserve this.
She does.
Because I think like a lot of times, this is not our own doing.
Exactly.
If God is blessing you, I can't say no to God. I can't say, God, don't bless Kira.
Exactly.
I can't. Do you understand? So what I can do is just say, big up, because I know God is close by. You know, if God can do
Beautiful.
it for you, God is
That's
about
a
to
good
do
one.
it for me as
Yes.
well, you know. And I think in close friendships, what I also feel with regards to especially the young women in high school is that sometimes the people that you are friends with may not be your friends for every season of your life, right?
That's hard.
But you also just need to be good to one another.
True.
Especially because if ever you guys still go from friends in high school to friends in adulthood, it means that when your friend succeeds, you succeed. And we need to put that in our minds, right? What advice do you have for those that are coming up with regards probably advice on their careers and how they can navigate failure or not getting what they want, advice on friendships and the communication around it, as well as the advice spiritually?
Okay, so career, friendship, spirituality. Okay, so with career, I would say, I think one thing that I've learned also being at where we met,
Yes.
right, is to give it your all in all, like give it your all in all, like have diligence,
Yes.
work from a point and a place of diligence, you know, and be very careful of the words that you're hearing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that can affect the way that you work.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
when there's everybody that's saying something and then you're also going according to that spirit.
Yeah.
Work hard on your craft. You know, I mean, these may seem pretty cliche,
Yeah.
but trust me, they are. It's important for you to kind of set yourself apart. You know what I mean? And I think what I'm learning also sometimes is, you know, I think I only got to, because I mean, I'm 30 now,
Yeah.
and I don't even look.
You don't even look ready, like
You
you know
know,
what, yeah?
but
God, sometimes,
you
yeah.
know,
Huh? Other kids.
dude, you know, but I'm like, I feel like only now I'm understanding what I want to do, you know, and at 28,
So at
26,
that floor, that's when you
you know,
understand it. So
like
that's
like,
powerful.
do you
That's
get like,
crazy.
do you
Yeah.
get friends? So
Yeah.
like between the age of 28 to now, I was still kind of processing, okay, but what do I actually want to do? I knew I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, you know, and I wanted to get into my
I can't
own,
comment on it.
you know, but then even with that, people think working on your own is, oh, it's nice. It still needs a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
And I think even like more discipline, because I feel like with 9 to 5 things are kind of structured for you in a way. You know what I mean? So it's important for you to know that whatever you're going for, it's not always going to be smooth.
Yes.
You know, it needs diligence. It needs you to really like work hard, but also give yourself rest. Rest is essential because there's this whole productivity,
Yes.
hustle culture and stuff like that. Rest is the best thing you could do for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but also understanding that you also want to grow, you want to master certain stuff. Give yourself that opportunity. You know, in terms of spirituality, I mean, I can only speak of spirituality from
Your own.
my own stance,
Yeah.
right? So I would say just always pray, you know, like, and also surround yourself with people that share the same outlook on life with you in terms of your beliefs and your faith. That is very important,
Yes.
you know, because if you are not surrounded by people like that, it's not that someone is better than the other, but at the end of the day, you guys are going to be pulling each other towards directions where neither, like, none of you are actually going. You know, one is going that way, the other's going the other way, and there's going to be unnecessary tension. So it's important for you to find people that share the same
If I can't pray
beliefs.
for myself, you now
You-
can step in and
Do you
pray.
get
Do you
what I
understand? If
mean?
my faith is weavery, your faith is what will
Exactly.
be strong. I
Do
get
you get what I mean? So it's very important. And then in terms of so it was career, spirituality,
And friendship.
and friendship. Friendship seasons. The hardest pill to swallow is that
Yes.
thing that you mentioned,
Yeah.
because I'm still struggling.
Yeah.
Right. So because I'm born in November, so apparently November people are very loyal or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
But you are.
Like,
Your own.
so-
You are. You've been loyal since I met you. So
You know
I
what
get
mean?
it. Yeah.
So for it, so it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow that the people that you once planned the future with, right? Are actually not on your side anymore, and we are growing, we are becoming our own women, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I think I've learned that it's okay for us to grow apart, but
Yes.
we don't. There like no space for animosity,
get you.
like you just said,
Yeah.
right? No space for, so that you don't have to burn bridges. You know what I mean? But it's also okay to be like, okay, I see that we're no longer relating the same. We don't have to be friends necessarily, but if I see you one day, I'll always love you.
You don't
I'll
have
always
any
greet
hatred
you.
towards the other person.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's important, but just understanding that friendships change, people change. Sometimes they're in your life, sometimes they're not. And one thing that I'm also learning, friend,
Yeah.
is for you. Lost point is for you that I'm learning that there are things that are very dear to me now.
Yeah.
Like communication is big for me, right? Like there are certain things that are big for me, and it's okay.
Yeah.
What I want is valid, and sometimes we want these things in people that don't have that for us, and it does not make them evil.
Hey,
Like that's what I believe. Like it does not make them evil.
Yes.
It just means they don't have that for us.
Yes.
And that's okay. Then start looking, and also maybe just ask God to open your eyes to people that
That's
maybe
a powerful
are giving
prayer.
you that. People that are actually, and also what you want, also give. It's not a tit for tat kind of thing,
Yeah.
but then if I want communication in friendship, I also need to be the one that exercises it.
Yes.
Do you get what I mean?
That is what you preach, kind of.
So that's just what I'm learning.
No, thank you so much, babes. Like I love you.
I love you.
And we've had our own fair chats
Yes.
of communication with regards to you understanding where I am, me understanding where
Yes.
you are coming from.
is very
So I
important.
would hope that what people would take from this, apart from obviously them learning how to teach English,
Yeah.
but for your own words of wisdom to transform the way that they behave onwards,
Yes.
in their family shape, in their friendship, in their work shape, in their spirituality. Because like I wouldn't have said it any better the way that you have. So thank you so much for coming to She
you
Is
so
the Scope.
It's already done.
It is.
Oh, no.
It is. You see, when we're having fun, time flies.
Time flies.
Yeah, and Chami will kill me because you know what? Ne? Yeah,
Yes.
but thank you so much, my babes,
Thank
for
you for
coming.
having me.
We asked the Prav. This is season 1. We're gonna have season 2.
For sure.
More conversations are gonna happen.
for
I do
sure.
believe that you have to have one podcast thing that you do for yourself because you're filled with wisdom and you know things and you learn. We can learn a lot from you. You just need, especially because you are already doing tutorials. So those kind of tutorials that you do on YouTube and TikTok, you actually need to bring them in this kind of spectrum, But thank you so much. As I said, nna ka lebitso ke Ditshwanelo Mosia, ngwanyana wa Mosotho, and we are signing out. Please, wait, hold on. Please tell them where they can find you on TikTok. And I know you don't like Instagram, but you do have Instagram, the DIY. So
Here and
please,
there.
share that.
So yes, friends. So like on YouTube, you can find me at Kera Excels. On Instagram as well at Kera Excels. And then on TikTok as well at Kera Excels. I try to keep them consistent.
Oh, is it?
Yes, friend.
Where is the olive?
Or oil overflow?
Oil
Oh yes, there's that
overflow.
too. But I'm thinking of like shifting that and just concentrating on Kera
Yes, so there's
Excels.
oil overflow as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's that too. So yes, I'm just trying to just have the same brand and name throughout.
I struggle with that. I have different things and I always forget.
True.
And they always, what's your TikTok? I'm like, yo, Konje. Because I always also change that.
That's
I forget
true.
what I am on TikTok and Twitter. But thank you so much, my
Thank you
babes.
for
I can't
having
thank
me.
you enough. Let us go and enjoy our slushy and have a great chat. So we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.